In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, good evening, family and friends, Muslims, Christians, Jews, and all believers. As I've said before, this is Ali Muhammad, as some of you very well know. Some of you know me as Ray. Coming to you with another video tonight in a line of videos. This is another attribute of God Almighty. This is an attribute of Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Attribute of God Almighty. And again, I started this video by saying, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. That's to say, I bear witness there's no God but God, and that Muhammad is his servant. And some would say servant and messenger. Rasulullah. Servant and messenger. I bear witness there's no God but God, that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's just another word of adding. It's his last servant and messenger. Or that I would say this. I bear witness there's no God but God, that Muhammad is his servant and messenger. And tonight I come to you with an attribute of God. This is the power of God Almighty. This is his power, exclusively his. And this is the attribute of his name. I've told you in the past, I told you guys in the past, if you call on God Almighty, by his attributes, by his power, he will answer you. Those who call on him, this is believers. This is for the believer, especially the Muslims. And I'm saying, I am not the one to appoint it who it really is for, the believer or who, but I'm saying the believer. I don't mean Muslims. You Muslim brothers and sisters know who I'm talking about, man or woman. And the attribute tonight is Al-Qaahir. Al-Qaahir, two ways kind of sound like two ways. Al-Qaahir, because they have a diacritic over top of it. It's the Al-Qaahir means, and what it means the omnipotent. The omnipotent. You know what omnipotent is? What it means, omnipotent. This is the omnipotent, the most powerful. He is the most powerful. He is omnipotent. This is Al-Qaahir. So he who recites this name continuously will come under the protection against temptation. This is the protection against temptation. It says, the continual recitation of this name gives protection against temptation of this world, against the temptations of this world. Again, the continual recitation of this name gives protection against the temptations of this world. If you say an Al-Qaahir, which means omnipotent, you going around, you don't know how to say Al-Qaahir. Al-Qaahir, not ha. Excuse me, saying ha. Al-Qaahir, because if I read the Arabic, for the Arabic people, they know what I'm talking about. I leave lamb, qua, ha, with a castle on the bottom of it, and a ra, which is mean, a duma at the top of it, would mean Al-Qaahir. That's what it would sound like for Arabic. Al-Qaahir, but it's Al-Qaahir, because it don't have what's called a feta on the top of the ha, of the H, but it has something on the bottom of it, which is a castra, a small meaning when it says like like it's similar to an E. Al-Qaahir, but it's Al-Qaahir, a long A, Al-Qaahir. Well, those who don't understand what I'm saying, say the omnipotent. I'm talking about the omnipotent. The omnipotent. I bet you know what that means. Look it up in your dictionary, and you'll find the powerful one. He is the powerful one. This is the omnipotent, and the continued recitation of this name give protections against the temptation of this world. There's temptations in the world. We're going to be tempted. Oh, believer, we're going to be tempted. Oh, Muslims, we are going to be tempted. You're going to get tempted. It said, you shall, in Holy Quran it teaches. I don't have the verse in front of me. You can Google it with what we're working with what we're working with today. You can Google what the Quran says about ye shall surely be tried and tested in your possessions and in your personal selves. And he says, surely he must that will grieve you from those who receive the book before you, and from those who worship many gods. But if ye persevere patiently and guard against evil, then that would be a determining factor in all affairs. So what I'm saying to you, you shall be tried and tested. Temptation is coming. So you're going to get around. You're going to get tried. I'm going to get tried, all of us. But this attribute that I'm here tonight to speak about, Al-Qaahir, the omnipotent, you continue to continue recitation of this name, give protections against the temptations of this world. It's the temptations. Just keep reciting it. Al-Qaahir. Just, you can't say Al-Qaahir. If it pleases Allah, he would accept the omnipotent, because this is what you mean. Omnipotent. The omnipotent. To get away from temptation. Oh, Muslim, Christian, Jew, but specifically, oh, Muslim, oh, believer, my family and friends. Al-Qaahir. They say omnipotent. The omnipotent. All the time. Watch you be protected from temptation. May God have mercy on you. May God Almighty guide you in your ways. And again, you are entitled to subscribe to the videos and get some more attributes and learn something to call on God Almighty. Learn how to call on Him. I'm telling you the best way to call on Him. One of the best ways, if nothing else, is by His attributes, by His power. He gives it to the prophet. This is what Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told us. He left us with this. And in a sense, He's still with us today. And we find it right in the information if we just read. If we would just only read, which is the very first revelation that the prophet that I know of got. Iqra, read. If you just read and say, Al-Qaahir, the omnipotent, and continuously say it, it will give you protection against the temptation of this world. Al-Qaahir, the omnipotent. Assalamu alaikum. And again, as I said, you are entitled to subscribe to the channels and get some more of these attributes. Let's go to Lies About God, // Alim Muhammad, or Truths About God, / Alim Muhammad. May God help you, may God guide you, protect you, and mend your ways. Assalamu alaikum.